Hi, guys, and welcome back to Live and Learn with Livy. I am your host, Livy. How are we all doing today? I low key broke this camera that I film on. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me, but I low key broke it on Sunday. Like the lens are all fucked up and everything. But she's all good now, I hope. I genuinely don't know. Anyways, the only update I have is that it's so hot in New York City. It's unbearable. It's so disgustingly hot here. I absolutely hate it. But other than that, life is great. Life is beautiful. I wanted to do this episode. I don't know. I guess to just get everything out there. And I don't share about my dating life as much anymore. So I was like, let me just do what this past 6 months in dating has looked like. And I feel like I'm entering a new chapter within dating. So let's leave the past in the past. But one thing that really stuck out to me was there's this theory. I see it all over my TikTok, but everyone's always like, oh, before you meet the person that's right for you, you're gonna the one, your literal person. The universe will test you and send you the person that send you a person that is literally checks off all your boxes, but some things are not, it's not 1,000% the person that's meant to be with you kind of thing. And that's the same thing with manifestations as well, of the universe will send you just enough. It won't send you your full manifestation. It'll send you something similar to it to see if you're willing to go back to old patterns or anything like that, or settle, or that's just a big thing within manifesting in general. You'll get something that's super similar to what you've been manifesting right before you get your actual manifestation. And I've seen that happen to me within dating. So I was like, you know what? Let's just talk all things dating, what I've been dealing with in my personal life with dating, and let's just get into it. So let's talk about my version of my manifestation basically came in and I was like, oh my God, my literal husband. And he was like, just kidding, bitch. I don't fuck with you like that. Anyways, no, that's not what happened, but we'll get into it. So this was in February, end of February. I've briefly talked about this, and yeah, but I've never given you guys the full story. But it was my first date in a minute. Actually, I think it was my first date back in New York. I could be fully lying. I don't remember truly. And I matched with him. He had such good energy. I was like, oh wait, I like this guy. He's cute, he's fun. And we were on the phone and it was good banter. We had good chat, we had good banter. I was like, okay, perfect. And then once we got off the phone, he was sent me a text and was like, there'll be a car picking you up tomorrow at 7:30. We're going to the Ritz-Carlton for drinks. And I was like, wait, what? This guy's already checking off all my boxes. That's just such a me thing. One, to have a car call wait, sorry, but just me being it's so Livy coded for them to be oh, I'm calling you a car, and the date is at the Ritz. I'm like, oh my God, that's so me coded. No, but it is. It just was he I just feel he went out of his way to be considerate, and he was just okay, and he went out of his way and picked a very good place. I was like, oh, I'm really feeling this already. And our joke was that it was because it was a week after Valentine's Day. He was like, but will you be my Valentine? And I was like, I will. I was like, because Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday, which is really random. And obviously I was like, no, it's my favorite holiday. So the next day I show up on the date and he's standing outside of the Ritz. And he has flowers, chocolates, and a little stuffed animal. And I was like, what? He was like, well, you're my Valentine. I had to get you a little present. And I was like, clock it. Am I being love bombed right now? And I was like, I'm in for a wild ride if I am, girl. But I just thought it was cute and sweet because we had that cute little joke, and I was like, okay, this is cute and sweet. Sure, I could be getting love bombed, but who gives a fuck? I'm in for the wild ride of it all. And also, I wasn't expecting anything that serious with this guy. That's actually never true. I'm always expecting someone to be my husband. Anyways, but he was in town for work. So that was a big thing. He wasn't from New York. He was just in town for work. And we had such a good first date. Everything clicked immediately. And I just honestly, he felt a best friend to me, to the point where, do you guys know the meme where it's where it's I get along with him so well that I almost started telling him about my other men. We vibe so well, I almost started talking about all the other men I'm dating. That was genuinely me with this one. I was like, wait, we get along so well, I'm about to start talking about the guys I'm dating. But we just had such a good night. We did drinks at the Ritz, and then we went across the street and had dinner. And it was I couldn't think of anything more perfect. It really was just so fun. I felt so comfortable with him immediately. And that's very rare for me. I like very rarely will ever feel comfortable with somebody. I don't know, just like I think it like takes a little minute for me to like actually feel comfortable with someone. But with him, it was like right off the bat. And we just like giggled the entire time. And I'm like, okay, if I can just like giggle with you the entire time, like that's all I fucking need. And like we just had so much fun. I was like, there's literally nothing better I could ask for. So then he sent me on my way, called me a car home. And the next day he was like, after your event, let me call you a car to this rooftop and let's grab drinks. And I was like, okay, perfect. So after my event, I went straight to the rooftop and had drinks with him. Once again, we were vibing, we were giggling, like we were just having so much fun. Did I end up in his hotel room? Yes. Did we have sex? Absolutely not, because I am psychotic. Like I am fucking crazy. I was like, absolutely not sleeping with you, you weird bitch. No, wait, what? Sorry. Anyways, and we just like spent the entire night talking to, and then it was like 3 a.m. and I was like, okay, I have to go home. Like I gotta get my puppy. And he was like, no, like stay. And I was like, no, bitch. Anyways, and I remember in that car ride home, I was like, wait, like I kind of like him. I'm like texting my friends. I'm like, wait, I kind of like him. But I was like, I don't want to get excited because like you never know with these men. Like you never know. And everyone's like, no, like get excited. Like allow yourself to be excited. He seems like such a good guy. I'm like, you guys are so right. Like let me just like get excited. Let me like get in those feels. So like I did. Like I allowed myself to get excited and I don't regret that. Just excited about the experience in general. Not even like, and I wasn't expecting anything. Like I truly wasn't. But it was just exciting to meet someone where I was like, I don't think I've met someone who's checked off my boxes this much ever, maybe. I would say ever. And I just like, he's a very considerate and kind man. And like, my biggest thing within a relationship or within dating is how comfortable I am with you. And like, if you feel like a best friend to me, like, I'm not going to date somebody who doesn't feel like a best friend and I can't have like open conversations with them and like talk to them about like whatever. So I was like, okay, he just like, it was great overall. And then the next day he was like, come to my office and come to work with me. And I was like, mind you, like I've never been in an office in my entire life. Like, do I look like corporate America? No. And I was like, okay, sure. And he was like, we'll get lunch at the office, like whatever. So he was like, bring your work too. Like you can work at my office. And I was like, okay, great. So went to his office and that was our last time seeing each other in New York. And then he like went back to where he was from. And we still stayed in contact like every single day, texting every single day. And like planning times of when we would see each other. He was like, I have this work trip coming up, but I would love to see you this next weekend. And I was like, okay, perfect. But then I was like, okay, wait, I need to ask immediately, like, what is your long-term goal? Not me being like, wait, what are your long-term goals? Like, what are your intentions? Because I don't want to get in a situationship. And I was like, I want to be very clear with like what I'm expecting. And that was like a very difficult thing for me because I don't think I've ever been in the past clear. I don't even think I was clear with myself with what I wanted, but like now I know exactly what I want. Like I want a long-term relationship. Like I'm not dating just to do a fucking situationship. Like what do I look like? So I was like, let me just be like super clear and like, yeah, it's early to have that conversation with him, but like I need to know what he's looking for. Because I'm not going to like just be strung along and like listen to his words of like what he wants. Do you know what I mean? Him being like, no, I like you so much. It's like, yeah, you can say that, but I need to know long term and I need to know honestly like what you are looking for, because one thing I don't play about my motherfucking time, bitch. Like you are not about to waste my time. So I told him that. I was like, okay, like what are you looking for? And he was like, oh, we had different religions and he has to marry within his religion. Let me tell you, I'm not his religion, and yeah, that's just that kind of thing. And I don't want to like deep dive too much into that, but so we had that talk where he was like, no, like my parents are like pretty like firm on the fact that I have to like marry within my religion. So he's like, no, I'm not really looking for anything serious. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was like, I am going to be in like a relationship this year. Like that's just how I see my 2025 playing out. And like, I am looking for someone serious and I don't want to just like waste my time. And he was like, no, but like I don't think it's us wasting our time. And I was like, no, it absolutely is. He was like, let me refresh your flowers, like let's still do our trips to like Mexico and stuff. And I was like, no, I can't actually. Like I can't sit here and get in a situation with somebody, situationship, and know that like I'm wasting my own time, because I'm someone who feels everything so deeply. So if I like you, like I like you, and I rarely like people. So I was just kind of like, as much as I wanted to, and like honestly, yeah, I wanted to go to Mexico. Yeah, I wanted to still be in contact with this person because we had such a great time and I liked him so much. And yeah, I wish like deep down inside I was like, he'll change his mind. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, of course he'll change his mind. But I knew I would be doing myself a disservice by staying and being like, he'll change his mind. You know what I mean? Like that's not, when someone tells you what they want, believe them. And when someone tells you what they want, like, don't try and be like, no, 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 I'm going to stay and I'm going to show him how amazing I am. Regardless of how amazing I am, like, him saying I don't want a relationship was enough for me to be like, no, like I do have to cut it. And it was so difficult because I loved the conversation with him and I like loved everything about it. He was such a sweet guy. Like anytime he like would call me, he'd be like, I just feel like your energy's off. Like, let's talk about it. Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Like he really was so attentive and he really was so great. And it would have been so fucking easy for me. Like we clicked on every single level possible, from like emotionally, intellectually, sexually, all of it. Like it is so hard to be like, fuck, seriously. And after all that time, like I hadn't been dating and just being like, like it would have been so easy to just be like, yeah, actually, I'm going to stay talking to you. I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to do all these things. But I would be literally hurting myself so much more. And I'm not going to act like it was an easy thing that I just like said goodbye. And I was like, all right, bye. You know what? No, I like threw a fit mentally. Anyways. But it was hard because it was like, oh my God, it finally felt like it was like, oh my God, like I've been so patient. Like it's my turn. You know what I mean? Like it's my turn to date. It's my turn to do these things. Like I felt like I have really put off dating for so long because I'm not willing to settle and I'm not willing to be with someone who is like less than in any sort of way. And I've really just been picky about who I date and who I'm dating and what I'm doing. And I don't know. When I met him, I was just like, oh no, like this could actually like be something. And I don't know. I think if I sat there and wasted my time, I would be sitting here with like a fucking heartbreak. That's what it literally would have been. But I never let myself get too invested because I knew he was never going to be what I needed him to be for me. And so I did cut him off. And then obviously like he did come back. And he is the one I made that huge TikTok about. I'm like, I wish, like me now, I'm like, I wish him the best. Like, I wish like all the best for him. He did handle it poorly, like, because we had like a situation where he was like, oh, I'm like coming to New York. Like, let me stay with you. Like, let me do all these things. And this was a time where I was like, you know what? I'm actually looking for something like a little bit more casual in my life. And I don't mind doing casual with you right now. And then like he flipped the script completely. And yeah, I low-key called him a bitch on TikTok. And what about, I'm like, that TikTok is sitting there like 8 minutes long with over 100,000 likes, like me low-key calling him a bitch. And I'm like, no, 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 no. But like, I wish him the best. Like, I wish him the best. I mean, I do. And he didn't handle it correctly, but like, I can't fault him for it. I mean, I could, but I just like don't feel the need to. And that's like that is for me, my textbook, like could have been the one for me, or of like, oh, you know, like someone comes in right before the other person, like da 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 whatever. And I don't know, like I really did like him, obviously. And it was really an interesting thing where it was like, no, I have to sit back and I have to choose myself, because if I don't choose me, no one else will. And like I didn't do all this work and I haven't stayed single and do all these things just to like fold and be like, oh, actually, like I'm gonna be in like this little situationship and like we're gonna go to Mexico, we're gonna have a great time, but like you'll never be my boyfriend. Why am I gonna waste my time? Like I just don't believe in that. Okay, now I'm gonna be very honest and vulnerable. This is like not awkward, but like I don't love to admit this. It's nothing fucking bad. Have I spoken to my ex-boyfriend? Absolutely. Do I only allow it to be like we can only text and like on the phone? He's always like, let's go to dinner. I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. I don't know. I feel like we broke up 3 or 4 years ago, and he was someone I dated, obviously, before TikTok became my job and my life became super public. And obviously, you guys know, dating since TikTok becoming my job and my life becoming public has been really interesting because I feel like men get super insecure about it, and I feel, or they're just like in it for the wrong reasons, and they're like, who's your editor? Like, give me your editor. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, just court me normally. Also, like, my wall is making such weird noises. I think there's like an animal in it. Anyways, and so dating's been obviously interesting since TikTok became my job, whatever, right? And with him, I'm like, I feel comfortable because I know he's not in it for the wrong, like, he's not communicating with me for like the wrong reasons or anything like that. Like, obviously, he's still in love with me. I mean, like, sorry, maybe like, yeah, like, duh. But like, I feel like with him it's something of like more of like a comfort thing that I just like kind of need to get over. So for instance, like this past November, like when I was really going through, remember when I was like moving from LA to New York, and yes, from LA to New York, and like I low key like got scammed and gave a man $5,000 and then had like a huge legal battle. Okay, yeah, anyways. But like that's when like I don't know, I noticed myself reaching out to him in times where I was like seeking comfort and my life like wasn't feeling comfortable. So I would like talk to him about that. And like I would also talk, I mean, like I talked about my ex-boyfriend about, I like I said, I'm like he's like my brother. Like I talked to him about like guys I'm dating and things like that. Like I hold really nothing back, and I guess that's just honestly like not fair for him at the end of the day. But I mean, I've made it clear several times, like you'll literally, like, I'm never getting back together with you, I'm never like doing any of those things with you. But it's a lot of like, he does bring me a lot of comfort, and he's someone who has seen, like, I have big emotions, like I'm an emotional girl, and like he's seen all my emotions and he's like, oh, like that's nothing, you know. Where in the past I've definitely had like other guys be like, end things because they're like, no, you're too emotional, or like you're too much, or anything like that. Like, yeah, I've gotten that my entire fucking life. And he was never one of those people. Like, he never made me feel like my emotions were too big, my anything like that. But that doesn't take away from like the horrible things he did do. But still, he was just someone where, I don't know, I just felt very like seen by him. And since I've been dating, I've never felt that seen by anybody or like understood, and just like he wasn't in it for the wrong reasons, or he didn't feel insecure about my job or anything like that. So yeah, just like it's sometimes nice to talk to someone where it's like, oh, my big emotions don't scare you, and like who I am to my core like doesn't scare you, it, you know. And I'm not saying it's like the best thing to like be and I also am not like constantly speaking to my ex-boyfriend. It's like once in a blue moon kind of thing. Um and he does just give me great advice. He does just genuinely care for me. And we just have like open and honest conversations. And I never plan to ever have any of these conversations like in person or anything, just because I don't ever want to go back to him. And he knows that. Like, I've made that very clear. But it's nice to be like speaking to someone, and even if I'm having big emotions or like feelings or anything like that, like I'm not being judged, and he just like gets it. Like, that's just like the best way I can say. And I just feel like comfort, and I never have to question his intentions if he's speaking to me for the wrong reasons or like anything like that. And it is annoying at the same time too, because it's like, sometimes I wish I could have just been like a little bit more reckless and a little bit more wild, because like he's vacationing in the south of France right now, and he's like, come, like I'll get your ticket. And I'm just like, no, like I can't. As fun as that fucking sounds to be vacationing in the south of France right now, I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I just can't. Yeah, it's like, ugh, Livy, if you want to go to the south of France that bad, to like take yourself there. I don't. But it is just like one of those things where I'm like, why can I never just be the one to like fuck up a little bit? You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I like, those fucking standards I have for myself like would never allow me to do that. And like being so self-aware like is such a blessing, and like I love it. But it's like sometimes it's like, goddamn, I wish I was like a stupid fucking bitch and like actually was like, you know what, actually, yeah, fly me to the south of France, actually, yeah. But it's just like, it's never worth it. And I'm always like, no. But yeah, we really don't talk that much. And I feel like the rest of my life, he'll always be like, let me take you to dinner. And I hope he finds somebody one day. Like, I hope he has like a wife and kids and does that whole, because he is getting old. And I hope he does that. And I like really, I'm like encouraging him to date and like do those things. And I hope there's a day where, I mean, I know there's going to be, obviously, like when I'm in a relationship, I'll never speak to him because like I'll have respect for the person that I'm with. But like, I don't know. He is just someone who's like brought me comfort. And I think that's a lot of healing I've had to do within myself and everything, and like it's maybe not the best that like I can like seek him for comfort, but like in a world where dating has felt very exhausting and very just confusing, I do find a little comfort in knowing I had someone like him at one point and that I can have that again, and not with him but with somebody different, and that it am I fucking recording? Sorry. But yeah, like I was just like, let me be open and honest. Obviously, I've like been speaking to my ex-boyfriend, but it's not like that. It's just like honestly what I'm going through dating wise. Like I crave a little bit more comfort within dating because I'm half of these men. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you weird bitches? Anyways, so yeah, that's just like my ex-boyfriend update. Okay, this one is even more vulnerable, and like I actually can't believe I'm sharing this story. Like I didn't think I would be able to share this story. So like a year ago, this man slid into my DMs, super cute, like really cute, and I gave him my number and he would always FaceTime me. And I thought nothing of this because I lived in LA, he lived in Miami. So I was just like, whatever, like we're just talking. But like, mind you, I'm crazy. In the back of my head, I'm like, is this motherfucker my husband? Anyways, and we would just talk, but I was like, oh, you know, he's just like a whore on my roster. Like I genuinely thought nothing else because I was like, oh, I'm not doing like a long distance thing with this man from Miami. Also, like a man from Miami, like me dating a man from Miami. I'm like, no, come on now. Like that's just ridiculous. Like a whore, like no, thank you. But I don't think he was a whore, but I do think he is so severely mentally ill, and we'll get into it. And we would just talk, and then our FaceTime started getting like longer, and I was like, wait, like I like him, like I can easily talk to him, and like I am really comfortable with him, but I was still like, no, and he wouldn't show up in the ways that I wanted him to, and I was like, yeah, no, like this is fucking pointless, like whatever. But it was around September of last year when I knew I was moving back to New York, and I told him that, and he was like, oh, that's crazy, because like I'm also moving back to New York, and he lived in New York the same time I did previously, but like we never knew each other. And he just like randomly slid into my DMs one day. So like we never knew each other when we both lived in New York, but he was moving back to New York and I was moving back to New York. I moved back first, and then our contact became very like sparse, and like I was just kind of like annoyed by the entire situation. I was like, no, I like low-key do think you're like a bitch kind of thing, just because I don't know, he would always do this thing where he would like show up and like be there for like 3 days, like on his shit, like Livy, da, 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 and then like I wouldn't hear from him for 2 weeks, and then I wouldn't respond to him, and then he'd be like, you're leaving me on red. Like we very much were a push and pull, and we very much were like very toxic for each other. But I was also like, you know what, like that's fine, because like we're long distance, like who cares, like we're having fun, like this isn't anything that deep, until it became that motherfucking deep, bitch. Because in May, I was just joking around with one of my girlfriends, and we were just like sending memes to guys we used to like speak to or communicate with, and I like sent him a meme, and he was like, are you going to be in the city Thursday? I'm taking you to dinner. And I was like, I am actually going to be in the city Thursday, and I am actually starving. But he was always just someone I was always like, we had such a good time over FaceTime and stuff and like texting. I was like, I really want to see his energy in person. Like I liked him when we were talking on the phone and stuff, and it's like a full year later, basically. Like, yeah, let's meet in person. Let's get dinner. Let's do all those things. So in May, we met and we got dinner, and this man was telling me a bunch of like sweet nothings. Like this man looked at me from across the table and was like, oh, do you need a date to your mom's wedding? Like, let me be your date to your mom's wedding. I can't wait till I move to the city, and like we're gonna do like sleepovers and all these things. He was like, what are you gonna tell your friends about the date? And I was like, absolutely nothing. And I was like, what are you gonna tell your friends about the date? And he was like, obviously like I met the one. And I was like, no, of course you did. And yeah, all of those things. And we had like a little time, like it literally was just like dinner. And then the next day we texted, and then I did not hear from him. When I tell you, I was like so devastated, disappointed, and just annoyed. Because I was like, okay, ghosting me is absolutely fucking diabolical. And little spoiler alert, he didn't ghost me. It gets worse. Anyways, I was just kind of like, well, what the fuck was that? Like, we went to dinner and we had a good time. We were texting, all was well. And then like you just pulled the same shit you always pulled. I guess I thought it would be different because we were in the same city. Like I didn't think he would pull the same shit that he pulled. No, he pulled the exact same shit that he always fucking pulled. So I was like literally baffled, and it honestly like really hurt my feelings. And I was just like, this is really hurtful. And I liked you and I thought you were great. And I just find this like super disrespectful. And I didn't say any of that to him, obviously. But then my birthday rolls around. I get a birthday text. Happy birthday, baby. I was like baffled. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And earlier that day I had a tarot card reading and she was like, I asked her about the situation, obviously, like I'm that type of bitch. And she was like, there's so much passion here between you two, but she's also like, there's so much like chaos. She was like, it feels very toxic, but it feels very like enticing. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I think we both feel the power dynamic and the power struggle kind of thing. And I think we both are very aware of that and we both want the power. But like to not speak to me for an entire month and then text me that on my birthday, like all is well, all is fine. Every part in me wanted to be like, you're a bitch. You can go get fucked. All I said was like, thanks. And I'm just like over it. I'm not over it. I'm over him, obviously, but like I'm annoyed with myself because I'm like, wait, if this was just like a person that I didn't build a fucking FaceTime relationship with over a year, I would have been like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. Like it was just like a guy I went on a date with. But like for me to invest, I don't even think I realized how much I was investing in myself by like FaceTiming him and like doing all those things. Like I thought it was like, oh my God, like fine, like he's just on my roster. Livy, you can't have a roster. Like I can't have a roster. Like I genuinely can't because I just get too invested whether I know it or not. Like I'm just like not meant for that. Like there's this one Pinterest thing that it's like, I'm not meant for casual. I'm meant for like soul crushing devotion. Like I'm not meant for casual. And I don't know who the fuck I was fooling this entire time being like, have a roster. You can have a roster, but like don't like the men on the roster. Just fuck a roster. Like I'm so over it. And no, it was shitty of him, but also it's like that was my own doing at the same time. And I hate to admit that, but like, yeah, like I shouldn't have like allowed him in. I shouldn't have done those things, but it is what it is. I liked him. I wanted to get to know him. And obviously like now there's no world that I'm going to speak to that man because that just felt like super disrespectful. I still think about now texting him and being like, you were so fucking rude for that. And then to text me on my birthday, and you know how special, you waited for my birthday. You waited an entire month. You know when my birthday is to text me. You didn't have to fucking text me. You never had to take me to dinner. You never had to text me on my birthday. You never had to do any of these things. You went out of your way. You sat across from me at fucking dinner and was like, oh, I would love to be the date to your mother's wedding, and then did not speak to me. And then on my birthday, the most special day of the year, bitch, happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday. Whose baby am I, motherfucker? Not yours. Oh my God, did it piss me off. But if anything, I'm grateful that like I did not like, oh my God, but I'm just like grateful like I cut it where it is kind of thing. I know the bitch will still reach out to me. I know that's just like gonna happen, but like I'm over it. Like I don't want to deal with that anymore. I find it so disrespectful and it's so rude. I'm not into the games. I'm too old. I'm 26 years old. I'm too old to play games with any of these men. I'm too old to sit there and be in a situationship with a man who knows he can't date me. I'm too old to be fucking my ex-boyfriend, so thank God I'm not. And I'm too old to sit here and like, even though I really liked this man at the end and I like genuinely was like, I would love to see where things go with him. Like he's been a vibe that I like, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and be excited when you text me on my fucking birthday because of how disrespectful you treated me before that. As if that wasn't an issue. As if that was like, no big deal. Oh my God, no, like, of course. Like, why? Like, no doubt. Like, of course. Like, you don't text me for a month. Go fuck yourself. I'm the wrong bitch to fuck with. And so, no, I blocked all of them. And I did, and I'm over it. But that's just like my dating update. And don't settle. Like, genuinely don't settle. I know one day I'll come on this podcast and be like, okay, like, you guys, the guy for me is actually this specific guy. And like, thank God I never settled. And it's hard being in the trenches of it currently. But like, fuck. Dating's just been something. So I've been like, just casually dating. No, like, I've just been like focusing on myself. Whatever, the right person will come when the right person's meant to come. All those things. But I just want to give you guys like an honest dating update. I feel like I haven't sat here and done that in a minute because I just like to process before I come on here. And I'm like, all right, this one's a bitch. Okay, but I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Also, thank you guys when you comment on the YouTube. Not thank you, but I love when you guys comment on the YouTube because then I get to like talk to you guys in the comments. So I really appreciate that. But I love every single one of you. Have a great day, night, evening, whenever the fuck you're listening or watching this. I'm headed to Chicago for the weekend. So when you're watching this, I'll be in Chicago. But I love you guys. Take care and don't let a whack ass motherfucker ruin your day because they've literally never been worth it ever. Okay, love you. Bye.